welcome to another tutorial of API. This one is really beautiful API fetch of a newspaper where you will fetch data dynamically and you will populate that in the HTML, and then you can read those articles on their homepage where they're coming from, and also you can search any news about any particular topic and that will fetch everything, any about news about the cricket. So since the World Cup is going on, so that's most popular topic, so that's why I searched this. So let's see how we can dive in and learn how to fetch an API in JavaScript. So before I start, it's very basic HTML and CSS involved in it, and I want to focus more and more on the fetching API and JavaScript. So if you are a beginner, this is perfect tutorial for you to learn how to fetch an API in JavaScript in the simplest way, and then you can find different ways. So once you have a good command on fetching API and API keys. So first of all, I'm going to create a new file, index.html, so you can follow along and keep repeating those steps if you are absolutely beginner. If you know that, then obviously you can skip this part and go straight to the JavaScript. But anything everything is available for everyone anyway. So let's create those. This is JavaScript, this is CSS and HTML. So once I will do the boilerplate, and let's connect that style.css. So for those who don't know, I have linked the style CSS into my HTML, and the same way I need to add in script.js, so I can whatever data I'm fetching in JavaScript, I can display in HTML. So that will be a script with source tag. So source will be script.js. So now I have attached all three files together, so they link to each other and they can work well. So in the body, let's start with HTML. I'm going to go with the header. I'm going to keep it simple anyway. So header, I'm going to give a class of header, so to make it easy to style it. And then h1 will be, this one will be hard-coded, newspaper API fetch, and then there will be another div with the class name of search container. So that will be a search on the right hand side or wherever you want to, and that will include input. Type will be text, obviously we're gonna search, and placeholder will be search news, and then ID will be search input. ID will be search dash input, and then there will be a button, of course, to trigger that. Button will be search, and then we will give him an ID, and ID will be search dash button. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for the header, because if you see that we have done those headlines and the search, and then we need a date, but we'll come back to it. Before we need to create a paragraph. So the under will be, I'm just gonna keep it a simple p with the class of date, and the date will be, I'm gonna give today's date, which is 11/06/2024. So A is just a placeholder. So if we right click on that, open with live server to see our progress, so you can see the date in there, search in there, and API fetch h1. Okay, so that's a good start. And then I'm gonna take a container So there I'm going to store all the cards of the news I'm going to fetch from the API. Okay, so as we go, let's leave this container empty because we're going to populate it with the JavaScript. That's dynamically, and that's the most use of API we can have it. So then we're going to add a footer, and footer will be copyright result 2024, or whatever you want to write it. It's just basically I want to, you know, put something header and footer and the body in the middle. Okay, so our HTML part is completely done. I don't think so we need anything else, but if need, we'll come back to it. And we'll go to the style first, and let's style a bit, and then I'm gonna say body will be font family Arial, and margin I'm gonna keep it to 0, everything. So let's do header display flex, justify content center, width 100%, height 160 pixel, that will look good. And then background color, you can say black or brown, whatever you want to. And then align item center, padding 20 pixels, so everything will sit in the middle away from the border. And align item center we have done, align content center. So that's the header. Let's see how it is looking. So that's looking pretty much right. There is a text, we need to style it. Okay, so but let's style the button first. Oh, h1 header h1, so that will be color white, color of the text, text align, text align center if you want to, font size 4em, let's see how big it is. Okay, not bad, let's do 6 here. Anyways, so that's a personal choice. You want to text transformation. Transformation mean I'm going to transform it to uppercase. And then padding, don't need to add any padding. Let's see how it looks like. So yeah, that's fine. It's way too big and gonna eat all the space, so I'm gonna go a little shorter. Yeah, you can see that. So let me drag it to the right so we can see what's going on the left hand side. But again, there's going to be a problem because I'm not working on the, you know, the smaller size. I'm going to keep it to the big, so don't worry about it. You can work it out, or if not, just let me know. I will create a new version with the for you with the sorry with the smaller screen size. So let's do the input now, and input padding 10 pixels, border radius will be 5 pixels, and border will be none. So yeah, that's looking much better. And then button, and button will be start with padding 10 pixels, top and bottom, background color green, and then will be border none, color of the text inner will be white, and cursor pointer, border radius 5 pixel. I'm not bothered where it's sitting, but if you will go on full screen, you can see that it's sitting on the right hand side, which is the position I want to. But on a smaller screen, since it's flat, so it's automatically adjusting its position, which I'm not bothered anyways. So let's do padding of the header is 20 pixels. Yeah, there is 26, so overflow X hidden. So I don't want to see that at the bottom anyways. Fine. No, wait it. Leave it. We'll work it out. Okay, so we got the header styled, and now let's do the date bit. And the date will be just date class from there. If you're not aware of, that's the date class we have taken. So I'm gonna style it. It's just a P background. Let's say gray. Okay, so what else we need? Text align, center, width 100%, height will be 40 pixel, margin 0, so it will not have any space top and bottom. Padding, font size, say 18 pixels. Okay, so that's good, looks good. Let's say padding top will be 20 pixel to move the text a little down in the middle. That's looking much better anyways. Okay, so then I need to style this card. So this is hypothetical card, you can see in here. So that one is outlined with the image, with the headline and the p tag and the read more. So this one gonna come from the JavaScript. So I don't have anything, but I'm gonna style it now. In fact, to make it faster, I'm gonna copy it from my other file and paste it. So I pasted that it's in there, but we can't see it because there isn't any data in there. So that's why. Then again, the footer, I'm gonna do that. The footer is there as well. Okay, so we are done with our CSS. You can pause video and go through all the CSS styles. Oh, the link will be in the description anyway, so you don't need to worry about it. Just copy and paste. So here comes the main part where we just need to fetch the API first of all. So we're gonna go, if you go on Google and search that news API, that will take you to this page, and then you can just go there and then log in there, and you will have your API key in there. And then you go back to home and copy this API. So what we're gonna do, const API key equal, let's save in there. If you go to the API key in there. So for time being, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save this as a placeholder. Const URL. So I just saved it, but I'm going to use it in a different way, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. So first I'm going to catch few of the classes from our HTML. So container equal document dot query selector, and that will be container. So be patient and keep following. Hopefully you will get the concept. Date element equal document dot query selector, that will be date. So we can populate our date in here or dynamically, because that's hard coded. So when you're gonna come back and see tomorrow, there still will be 11th or 6th. So I want it to update automatically if and when we refresh the page. Okay, so then const search button equal document dot query selector, and that will be ID. I need to see if I've given class or ID. So the button is ID, so ID will be hash instead of this dot. So that will be hash search button, and then the last thing is search input equal document dot query selector, and there will be again an ID search dash input. To fix this, that will be a const. Okay, so now is the time to fetch the API, but before we're gonna get the date in there. So the date will be let's say const date equal new date. So we got the date. If you inspect it, you can console log it date. So that's giving you today's date, but it's not updating here because we just need to do it. So it will be as we got the container date there. So what we're going to do, date element dot inner HTML, and inner HTML will be text content equal date. So this date we got it, so this is our date element which is there. So I'm changing its text content to date. So if you save it, you can see that let me change the color to white. Where is the date? Color white, so at least we can see that it was getting lost in the background. So but we don't need this British summertime or anything, so it's just a method called dot to date string. So that will shorten it to just Tuesday, June 11, 2024. Amazing. So that's all what we want, and now we're gonna fetch the API. So I'm gonna say async function get news, and news will be try and catch method. Okay, so the try will be const res equal wait fetch. So how I'm gonna fetch, I'm gonna go these return brackets, reverse brackets, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna paste this text, this URL in there. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, const data equal res dot JSON Yeah, okay, so now let's because that was giving error, so I just need to get rid of it. So let's log it. Console.log and data. Let's see if we are actually getting anything from this API. So if you console log that, because we need to run this there to get anything, so you can see that we are getting a promised and we are getting an object with an array of articles. So there you can see, so it means our API is working and we are getting the data, which is a good news, and now we can keep building on it. So at least we know that our data, our API is working and our API key is absolutely fine. But we want, before we start populating the data, basically I figure out one error. It should be data in here, and that should be data, and that should await here, and then rest.json. Okay, right. So now we're going to populate the data in here. So if we're gonna do that, so basically we are fetching data from here and populating into the HTML, but our article container is empty, which we're gonna do as we go in the JavaScript. So that's a good practice for learning how to create elements and append child as we go. But first of all, we need the if data.articles and data.articles.length. So that will be data.articles.for each, right? And for each I want article singular, and then a function that will create an element to populate all those articles in here. So first of all, we need to create a card, which is this one there, the black key line you can see with the drop shadow. So let's create that. Const card equal document.createElement. So the create element we want is a div. So when div is created, I want to add a class list dot add, and I want card. So where this card is coming from, so this one we have styled it, but we haven't populated in there, so that's been there. Okay, so it should reflect in there, but it's not. I mean, we are doing any mistake here. So no, we are not doing any mistake. In fact, we need to append a child. So we have created a card, and what we can do, we can append it. So container.appendChild, and appendChild is card. So what I'm doing here is if I am getting any data, yeah, you can see those line appearing here, because while I'm doing it, all the data, you can see those articles. So I'm going through all the articles and picking up each and every article and putting into its own container. So you can see that there are empty lines in there because we haven't got anything in there. That's why they are just purely lines with the shadow, because that's the shadow we have given in here in CSS. So that's a success. Things going well. So let's keep going and see that how we can bring those images and headlines and everything. So then if article. So let's inspect again and keep this one open with us to help us. So the all article, if you open any of that, you can see that URL to image, which is image of the headline, right? So we need to grab the image dot URL to image, right? So const image equal document dot create element, and that one img. So once image is created, I want to populate it with the source, so that will be, and then I'm going to copy this from there. Yeah, so it should appear here now, but we have an appended chat, so we can't see that because third-party cookie will block it. Mean the third the sources images are coming from third-party websites. So what we're going to do now is very simple. Add image dot alt first, so which will be article dot title. So that's a good practice. If any of the data is not fetching, they can show us that okay, there is an image but we're missing. That's a good example. So the image is missing, but we get the title of the image anyways. So that's always a good practice. Please do that. It will not show up just a blank icon. So now append it, card dot AppendChild and AppendChild image. Yeah, images should appear here, so you can see that things started happening. We can see images. Okay, that's a good start. Yeah, and then we need, what we need here is add another one, title. So const title equal document dot create element, and that will be h2. So since it's been created now, so now we need to add that title dot text content. So that will come from article dot title. So you can see that article and then open up anything, and that's the title we need. Yep, article dot title. So let's append that. Now card dot AppendChild, and AppendChild will be title. So let's see. Yeah, you can see in there they're coming dynamically, nice and simple. Okay, and then what we need, author. So what else we need is author, where these are coming from, who is the author of it. So we're gonna say if article dot author const not, let's keep it up and high in the middle, equal document dot create element. So now we are repeating ourselves. Okay, so that will be h4. So that's just a repetition, don't worry about it. Author dot text content equal article dot author. So let's see if anything is coming because we haven't appended it. So card dot AppendChild, and AppendChild will be author. Yeah, it's not coming up. It means we have messed up few things. AUTHOR. Am I spelling it right? The author dot text content equal article. So this one will be dynamic thing, so literal backticks, and we're gonna say $sign article dot author. car.AppendChild author. Okay, they might not have any. So let me fix this from my other file. Let me bring the CSS. Why it's not basically updating that. So yeah, now I was doing something wrong, so we have done it. So now we can see nice and easy cards. So okay, so the authors are gone. Let's put it on the side, not spend time on it, and carry on with the text content. So const content equal document dot create element, and create element is, I'm going to create a p tag. So what will p do? Content dot text content equal article dot content, or we can see content not available, but anyway, so let's see card dot AppendChild, and AppendChild will be content. So there you go, contents are coming nice and easy. So we need a last thing because it's getting longer and longer, but you got the idea what I mean. So read more. So whenever there is a link, it should go to the parent website, wherever this is coming from. And still we haven't worked with the search, so we need to work with the search as well. So let's keep it nice and simple. Const read more equal document dot create element, and create element is anchor tag, which is a link. So in this one, read more dot href equal article dot url. So where I'm getting all those things is basically from here. So if you open up anything, that's article, source, and URL. Article.url. So read more dot text content equal, I'm gonna say that read more 1 2 3, and to open that in a new page, what I'm gonna do, read more dot target. So we always know that we keep it blank, so this will open up in a new page. So car.AppendChild, and AppendChild will be read more. So let's see if it's appearing, and click on it, it's going to the article page. Amazing. Yeah. So now let's see search button, how we're going to do that. So if you search about, let's say Tesla, it's not working anything. You inspect it, you can't see anything. So let's work with it and catch. That's always a good practice to log an error. If there is no data to show, we're going to say error. console dot error, and that will be error fetching data. Yeah, okay, so if there is nothing, that will show error, and there will be an error message, const error message equal document dot create element, and element creator p, which is paragraph. So error message dot text content. So text content will be whatever you want, equal error occurred while fetching news. Try again. So we need to append this, otherwise we won't be able to see that. Container dot AppendChild. So this one we're gonna append on the container, the whole container, not only this one there. So that will be error message. So error is done. So let's do now search button. So we have taken this search button here, copy this and say search button dot add event listener, and listener will be click, and when we click it, I want to run a function, and the function will be const search equal search input dot value dot trim. So what trim will do, trim will, you know, keep anything, any space before and after, remove it. So this anything, any space before and after, this trim function will remove it. So it's good practice to keep it trimmed. So if search mean whatever text inside, because we have taken the search input dot value. If search equals search input if search, so that will be get news, and we would run this function, which is this one, get news. So we're gonna do search, and once we get it, search input equal empty. So once we search it, we're gonna see that. So it's not picking up, there is search input dot value. Yeah, okay. So there will, but it's not running. Why it's not running? Because we haven't fetched it. So in the API where there is a query.tesla, we're gonna say q equal dynamic search, right? So we're gonna there get news from search. Hopefully this will work. Let's say beach. Toronto, inspect, console is getting data. So that will be get news latest. Yeah, there is an error. We'll figure it out. What's wrong with it? So get new search, that's right. And then there will be get new search. So it's coming from search. Q equal $ search and form. That's right. Get new search. So we need to clear that search before. So let's do the container dot inner HTML equal empty. So empty it before we search it. Yep. So we are just cleaning up anything previously been searched. So now let's say Tesla, you will get the news about Tesla. Cricket, you will get about cricket, anything, let's say London. So search the news, then click on it and it will take you to the website. I'm not gonna say that. I open it up. Okay, London Underground. So search about New York. It will search the news about New York. So you can work it out and find how you can make it a bit more better. But that's all what I need from this tutorial. Thank you so much for looking and watching this video. Please comment below so we can create more and more videos for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in next video. Bye.